What if the skill you learned this weekend could generate $500,000 a year for you by 2027? Because right now, almost everyone is focused on writing better prompts, better phrasing, better structure, more detailed instructions. And yes, prompts do matter, but that's not where the real money is going to be made. The people who are actually going to win with AI are the ones building systems that keep doing the work long after the prompt is finished. And that's what Claude's skills are for. You package your knowledge, your workflows, your business rules into reusable tools, and those tools run every day without you. Now, I'm going to show you 5 of them that businesses will pay a serious premium for. And it's not because they generate text, but because they solve real, recurring, expensive problems. And once you understand how these work, you're going to start seeing opportunities to build them for almost any repeatable task. Now, if you do want to master AI tools and you want to learn how to build profitable SaaS apps, websites, AI agents, and mobile apps with AI, I've created a complete masterclass that shows you exactly how to do all of this step by step. My masterclass normally costs $499 to join, but since you are watching this video, thank you very much. You can join completely free. Just check out that link in the description below to get free access to my masterclass, and you can start building your own AI-powered business today. So let's get into this. So the first skill that we're going to build is for brand voice. So basically, you can take a rough piece of text, paste it into Claude, and then have it rewritten so it sounds like your brand. Same tone, same structure, same style, all without typing these same instructions again and again. So I'm gonna slow down on this one because once you understand how this skill works, then the next ones will just be much easier to follow. So first things first, we need to make sure that skills are turned on. Go to Customize, then click Skills. If this is your first time doing this, check that skill-creator is switched on as well. Claude needs that one enabled so that it can create the skill properly. And this page is also where all the skills you build will show up. A skill itself is not complicated, it's just a folder. And inside that folder is a file called skill.md. And that file tells Claude 2 things. It tells Claude what the skill is called and when it should use it. Then it gives Claude the rules it needs to follow. So for this one, we're going to give Claude the brand voice rules one time, then let it reuse them whenever we need on brand copy. I have the skill.md file open up here. And at the top, you can see that I'm adding the name and the description. The description is really important because Claude uses it to figure out when the skill should turn on. I don't want to write something too broad, like this rewrites text. No, that can mean anything. I want it to be more specific, so I'm gonna write that this should be used whenever someone wants text made on brand, rewritten in our voice, or cleaned up. And after that, I'm going to add the actual brand rules. And for the tone, we'll keep it warm, confident, and plain. For the structure, we'll tell Claude to lead with the benefit, keep the paragraph short, and then end with one clear call to action. And these are the same kinds of notes you would normally give to a copywriter before they write anything for your business. The only difference here is we're giving them to Claude once, so we don't have to keep repeating ourselves. And once Claude reads the file, then the skill appears in our skills list. I'm going to switch it on and now it's ready to use. So now let's test it. Let's open up a new chat here and paste in a piece of generic marketing copy. It's the kind of copy that technically says the right thing, but it just sounds flat and could belong to pretty much almost any other company. So I'll ask Claude to make it on brand. Now the copy here, as you can see, sounds much better. It still keeps the original message, but it feels cleaner, more direct, and more like something the brand would actually say. The extra hype is gone, the wording is tighter, and it ends with a clear ask. I didn't have to explain the tone, the structure, or the rules again because the skill already had all of that built in. And this is why a brand voice skill is useful. A team member can come in, they can paste a rough copy, and then get something that follows the same voice every single time without needing to read the full brand guide. You set it up once, you turn it on, and then Claude handles the rewrite using the rules that you gave it. And that's the basic idea. You give Claude the rules once, then the skill applies them whenever you need that kind of transformation. So now let's go ahead and move into the next skill and make it more specific. The second skill is a code reviewer, and it shows one of the most important parts of building skills properly: setting limits. Claude can be extremely helpful, yes, but if the instructions are too loose, it may do more than you actually asked for. So for example, say you paste code into an AI tool and simply say, review this. It might start rewriting parts of the code. It could rename variables, adjust the structure, simplify the logic, or change things that were already working. And then you have a new problem. You have to check what it changed, why it changed it, and then whether the code still works the same way. And that takes the review out of your hands. So a good code reviewer should not take over the code. It should look through it, it should catch problems, and then explain what needs attention. The developer should still be the one making the final changes. So for this skill, we're going to make that rule very clear from the start. The setup is the same as before, so I'm going to move through the build a bit quickly here. So the main difference is in the instructions. I'm adding clear boundaries like do not rewrite the code, or do not change variable names or logic, or only report issues. These lines are important because they keep Claude focused on reviewing instead of editing. Then I'll give Claude a checklist to follow every single time. It should check formatting and spacing, readability, naming, and any other obvious performance problems. And this gives the skill a repeatable review process. It won't come back with a different style of feedback every single time. Instead, it follows the same standard, uses the same structure, and gives the developer a clean list of things to look at. So now let's go ahead and try it out. I'm going to paste in a rough block of code here with messy spacing, some unclear names, and a loop that could be more efficient. Then I'll ask Claude to review it. The output comes back as a clear checklist. It points out the spacing issues, it calls out the unclear names, and it also notices the inefficient loop. Most importantly, it doesn't rewrite the code. It leaves the actual file alone and only gives the review notes. For a development team, that consistency matters. Everyone can run code through the same reviewer and then get feedback based on the same standards. So it saves time, keeps the review process cleaner, and avoids the risk of AI changing code that really no one asked it to touch. The third skill is for cleaning up messy documents, and every business has some version of this problem. It could be, say, raw meeting notes, a long list of scattered bullet points, or a wall of text someone copied from a call, a doc, or a chat thread. Now, the important details are usually in there somewhere, but nobody wants to dig through all of it. The decisions are mixed in with, say, some side comments, and the action items are easy to miss. So for this one, we're going to build a document transformer. You give Claude the messy input, and then the skill turns it into a clear summary, key points, and a task list using the same layout every single time. So this also shows another important part of how skills work, because so far we've mostly treated a skill like one instruction file, but a skill is actually a folder, which means we can add extra files that Claude can use while it works. So here inside the skill folder next to the skill.md file, I've added another file for the template. And this template gives Claude the exact structure that we want for the output. It starts with a short summary, then pulls out the key points, then ends with a checklist of action items and owners. Then inside the skill.md file, I point Claude to that template by saying, format the output using template.md, and that keeps the skill cleaner. We don't have to force every formatting rule into one long instruction file anymore. The skill can just simply reference the template whenever it needs to turn messy notes into a finished document. So now let's test it out. I'll paste in a rough set of meeting notes with no real structure. The decisions, comments, and tasks are all mixed together just like they usually are after a meeting. So then I'm going to ask Claude to transform it. Now the notes are actually usable. There's a short summary here at the top so you can understand what happened quickly. The main decisions are pulled out clearly, and the action items are also listed with the people responsible for them. Claude didn't just make the text prettier. It found the important pieces and then placed them onto the structure we gave it. So one thing to be clear here about this skill, it works with what's already in the notes. It's not making up new tasks or adding details that were never mentioned. It's organizing the information that was buried in the mess, which is exactly what you want for internal documents. The fourth skill is for bigger tasks that have more than just one step. You've probably seen this happen before. You give an AI, say, a project with several parts, and halfway through, it starts losing track. It repeats something it already did, it skips a step, or it forgets what was finished earlier. And the problem is that it's trying to manage the whole job from memory without a clear record of where it is. So this skill fixes that by making Claude create a written plan and then update it as it works. So instead of just jumping into the task, Claude first writes out the steps, it follows them one by one, and then checks them off as each part is completed. The new idea here is state. The earlier skills were more direct. You gave Claude something and then it returned the finished output. But this one works a little differently because it keeps track of progress while the job is happening. So inside one working session, Claude creates a plan file. It uses that plan as its guide and updates it after each step. So that way, it always has a clear view of what's already done and what still needs to happen. The build process is the same as before. We create the folder, add the skill.md file, zip it up, upload it, and then turn it on. The instructions are what makes this work. First, Claude has to write the full project plan as a checklist, and then after that, it should complete one step at a time, mark that step as done in the file, show the updated plan, and only then continue to the next step. So that simple loop just keeps the whole process organized. Plan, do one step, update the plan, show progress, and then move forward. So now let's test it out. I'll give Claude a small project with a few stages. Now notice here what it does first. It doesn't just rush straight into working. It creates the plan, then it starts with step one. And then once that step is finished, it goes back to the plan, checks it off, and then shows the updated version before continuing. And then it does the same thing for step two, and every stage follows the same pattern so that our project does stay clean and easy to follow. There are no repeating steps, no skipping parts, and no guessing what's already been completed. And the main value here is visibility. You can see what Claude has finished, what it's working on, and what's still left. And for multi-step work, that does make a huge difference because now you're not just hoping that the AI remembers the plan. No, you can actually watch it track its own progress. And now the final skill here brings everything together. This one is built for one of the most common problems inside a growing business: customer emails just piling up. Support questions, long back and forth threads, refund requests, frustrated customers, follow-ups that just keep getting pushed down the inbox. It all adds up fast. And this skill reads the full thread and drafts a clean, professional reply that just follows the company's rules. The new concept here is embedded policy. The earlier skills followed instructions, used templates, and tracked progress. This one has to make judgment calls. It needs to know the tone of the company, what it's allowed to offer, what it should avoid, and when the issue needs to be passed on to a real person. So we're not only teaching Claude how to write a reply, we're also giving it the boundaries it has to follow before it says anything. So the build process is the same as before. Create the folder, add the skill.md file, zip it up, upload it, and turn it on. The important part is what goes inside the instructions. So I'm adding the company tone, the sign-off, and the types of help that it can provide, like say standard troubleshooting or refunds under a certain amount. And then I'm adding the hard limits. If the thread involves legal issues, a refund above the approved limit, or say an angry customer who clearly needs escalation, then Claude should not try to answer on its own. It should draft a handoff for a human instead. So those limits are what make the skill useful in a real support workflow because it can help with normal cases without crossing lines it shouldn't cross. So again, let's test it out. I'll paste in a long email thread with multiple replies, and the customer is a bit frustrated and the actual request is buried somewhere in there in the middle of the conversation. So then I'm going to ask Claude to draft a response. The reply comes back calm, clear, and professional. It looks at the full thread, it understands what the customer is actually asking for, and responds to the real issue instead of only reacting to the most recent message. It also keeps the tone aligned with the company, so the draft is ready to review and then send off. Now, let's test out the boundary. I'll give it a thread where the customer is asking for a refund that goes beyond the approved limit. And this time, Claude doesn't promise anything it shouldn't. It flags the issue and then drafts a handoff for a human to review. And that's what makes this more useful than just a basic chatbot. It can help the team move through support emails faster, but it still respects the company's rules. It handles the normal replies, it keeps the tone consistent, and it knows when the situation needs a real person. The team can then get through more messages without losing control of what's being said to customers. And that's all 5 of our skills today. And we built 5 skills, and each one showed a different way to make Claude more useful for real work. The brand voice skill was the starting point. Just give Claude the rules once and it can keep rewriting content in the same exact voice without you repeating the brand guide every single time. The code reviewer next showed why boundaries do matter. Sometimes the best skill is not the one that does more, but just the one that knows exactly what not to touch. And then next, the document transformer showed how a skill can use extra files like templates, so the output follows a format you already trust. The project planner showed how Claude can keep track of a longer job while it does work through each step. And then finally, the email responder showed how you can add actual company rules so that Claude knows when it can help and when something else needs to go to a real person. So if you look at all 5 of these together, the pattern here is pretty clear. You can start by giving Claude instructions, yes, then you can add limits, and then you give it files to follow, and then you make it track progress, and then you teach it your policies. So once you understand those pieces, you can then turn almost any repeatable business task into a skill. So the opportunity is not just knowing how to prompt better. A prompt helps you one time. A skill becomes something a business can use again and again. It saves time, keeps the work consistent, and gives your team a system that they can actually rely on. So don't try to build all 5 today. Maybe just pick one annoying task that keeps coming up. Maybe it's rewriting the same kind of content, cleaning up meeting notes, reviewing code, planning projects, or answering the same customer questions. So build one skill around that. Test it out, fix it, make it useful, and once you've done that, you'll then understand why this matters a lot more than just having a good prompt saved somewhere. And that's it for this one. Thank you for investing your time with me today. I'll see you at the next build.